State championship week and the St. James Wildcats are back in the Superdome. We've got 2026 wide receiver Jakias Villanueva, one of the veterans of that team who was a playmaker for the Wildcats last year, a state runner-up trip, and now has the Wildcats back in the Superdome, back in a state championship game for the second straight year. First time the program's been in back-to-back state championships since 1959 and 1960. And it's a young and talented Wildcats group. And Jakias, we've talked about it before. You're kind of one of the old men of that group with some experience under your belt, but you weren't around in 1959 and 1960 when this program was doing this. But man, how does it feel to be a part of getting back to this point and knowing the opportunity that you guys now have later this week?
It feel good, like last year we didn't finish the mission. Like we got there, but we didn't finish. So now I feel good. God gave us another opportunity to actually finish this year.
Our last interview together this summer during some of the school 7-on-7 stuff, we talked about some of that. There was going to still be an expectation, but there was a talented team, but a young team that was going to have to kind of grow up together over the course of this season. And you were going to need to be one of the leaders that helped kind of show that way. When you look at y'all's group this summer and where y'all were versus where we are now, we're chatting on Sunday, December 8th, just the process to get here and the growth you've seen from all those young guys around you. How proud are you of what you've seen from this whole team, and what has stood out to you about that process to get back to this point that is so tough to get to?
I'm real proud. Nobody knew we were gonna be here except for us. Our coach always told us nobody believed in ourselves. Nobody believed in us except for us. So we just knew we had to work hard. We had to do everything we had to do to get back where we was. And so we just worked hard over the spring practices, the summer practices. We just knew we had to execute everything and not take nothing lightly.
Last year's state championship game was the thriller and the heartbreak of a 2-point conversion deciding things late, and Union Parish finally gets over the hump and wins its state championship and puts a sad ending to an awesome season for you guys. They this year have to come back through y'all in a semifinal rematch of that game a year ago, and it ends up being a thriller for y'all to lift at the end on that Kanai touchdown run, and a heartbreak for those guys. Take us through, for folks like me that weren't down in beautiful downtown Vatry this weekend, what that atmosphere was like, what that moment was like for y'all to get the big plays necessary to escape that one and march on back to the Superdome, knowing all of the history between these programs, knowing the heartbreak from last year. Kind of paint that picture of what Friday night was like.
To be honest, it was loud. It was loud. We couldn't even hear our plays on the sideline. So it was real loud. Our fans really showed out. Like, they really helped us. So, like, everything we had trouble with, they also had trouble with. So they couldn't hear their plays either. So it was just big, all the excitement, it just all built in. So we had to take care of business.
Tell me about the emotion when you see Kanai, cross the goal line and that you guys are on your way back to the Superdome as we're kind of winding through the final minutes of that game. A couple tears come out. What are the emotions like as you're realizing, okay, we're going back there and this mission is still alive and well?
Yeah, after that, a couple of tears that flew out. But like, it's crazy how this team, we never gave up. We was down almost 21 points at going to the fourth quarter. So we just came back. We never gave up. We always pushed through and finished with a win.
For you as an older guy and knowing that this was a huge game for you guys, this was a lot of fun, it was really meaningful, but that the goal is a big trophy that is waiting for you guys in the Superdome. How do you approach this week, particularly with some of those young guys around you, and realizing, man, this was very emotional. This was a huge game for us, but this was the semifinal, and there's, we've got to refocus this thing right back and go play just as well here, if not better, to go win the whole thing.
Yeah, our coach told us, like, right after we won, the coach told us we wasn't done. We still got a mission to accomplish. So we just go to practice. We got practice today, all through Wednesday, play Thursday. So we just gotta go into every day like as our last. Like, work hard every day. Don't take none lightly, cause whatever we take, we get taken from us. So we just gotta work hard and do what we do.
The growth, we talk about some of the growth of the team as a whole. You guys have a freshman quarterback that I know we were all really excited about, but I don't know that we expected him to be, okay, you're the guy freshman year and we're going to play for a state championship in December. When you look at Juwan Jackson and what he's brought to this team to be, kind of the trigger man there to get the ball to guys like you and Kanai and everybody all over the field. What has stood out about him and his performance as such a young guy?
His growth. Like last year, he was in 8th grade, and we started working over the summer, and he just kept growing. Like he kept getting bigger and bigger. He just kept growing. Like he started learning everything. He started his IQ picked up. He started trusting us. He started trusting our receiver core, our running back core, and everything built up. Nobody expected us to be here because he was young, so nobody expected us to be here. But we have our team had faith in him, and he had faith in us, so we knew we was gonna do.
How good has that connection felt? Because you've been able to find your way to the end zone on some of these passes from him all season long, and certainly in the playoffs, it seems like y'all's timing has been impeccable there to get you loose in the open field and go show some of what you can do with the ball in your hands after the catch. How have you felt about, going from some of those reps y'all were able to get in kind of behind the scenes, prior to this year to where y'all are now on Friday nights and just sort of his poise in some of those moments and y'all's timing and chemistry and rapport on a Friday night?
It felt good. I always knew him. I knew him like since I was young, so we just built up our connection. We worked for it. So I just told him, if you ever in trouble, you know where to find me. I'm always be there.
I guess let's talk some about your growth too. And we've talked about this at different stages for you, but this is now the end of your junior year. And so we talk about you being a veteran and coming back with some experience, but now you've got this whole other upperclassman season under your belt to get to this point. How do you feel about where you are right now and some of the things that you've been able to do, just kind of being a leader, not just in the locker room and for this program, but a leader on the field on Friday nights and some of your playmaking ability that you've been able to flash? How have you felt about where you are right now in your development and your performance so far?
I feel good about it since last year. Like the team last year after the state championship game, the coach told me, since we had so many seniors, I would be one of the older guys, so I knew how to step up. So he just talked me through it. I understood it, so I just knew I had to step up and be a leader and take my team where we had to go.
How much have you heard, particularly in the last couple days, the last week and a half, from some of those guys? The Braden Williamses, the Kobe Browns, all those guys that you were the young guy, a couple grades behind them these last few years. How much have you heard from them in terms of their excitement of you guys getting that chance against Union again and obviously making good on it, and now you guys getting this chance in the Superdome?
I heard from a lot. They actually encourage us every week to do what they couldn't do and finish the mission. So we just talk to them a lot. I've had a lot of conversations. So like they always pick us up when we down. They be at the game on Fridays too. So like every time we make a mistake, they always pick us up and tell us keep going.
What does this week look like? Whether in terms of the preparation for a good Sterlington team that y'all also have some familiarity with from some recent playoff meetings, or I know the community support anytime you guys are
Uh,
really any week, anytime all year round, but certainly when you guys are getting ready for a dome trip, it's rocking down there. Um, what does this week look like if folks kind of stop by St. James? What's it going to look like as y'all get ready for this dome appearance?
it's gonna be like hard work, a hard working team trying to finish their a mission that they always work hard for, that they always dreamed of. So like our fans, they'll come out anytime. The coach told them that. So we're just gonna work hard, continue to work hard, continue to do what we do.
What does the outlook for this matchup look like? I don't know that y'all have had a chance yet to game plan a ton for them just yet. I know the coaches have been looking at them, but you guys will get into more specifics as a team out on the practice field later today and through these next few days. But you do kind of know a little bit about what Sterlington is about. You guys saw them last year in the playoffs. They're a team that has some similarities to Union Parish. Those guys battle every year up there in Northeast Louisiana, and y'all have ended up running into one or both of them in a lot of these playoff runs. But from what you know about Sterlington so far, what's kind of your expectation of what this matchup could look like later this week?
I watched film last night, so for what I seen on defensive wise, they playing cover one, so I knew that I'm gonna have to use my speed and use my route running to get open and make my quarterback trust me and put the ball in the right spot for me to make a play.
For guys like Jawan that maybe were there last year, but weren't out on the field for 4 quarters quite the same way that you are against Union. What is your biggest message to the younger guys that'll be in bigger roles now this week heading into the Superdome of what it's going to feel like going in there, what the vibe is going to be like, what it's going to take to win this? Is that, and I guess I ask you what the message is to them. Is it something that you talk to them a lot about, or is it something that you try to not build up too much and just hopefully they kind of feel like it's just a regular game, even though there's huge lights and huge crowds everywhere?
Yeah, like you said, just a regular game. I tell them to not get overexcited, not like make all the excitement and get on the field and like just get nervous. Like it's just a regular game, a regular team. And we just gotta play them hard, play them fast, play them physical, and do what we do, and just win.
We'll be out there again in a couple of days, and we'll see how the chips all fall. But what do you want folks to know about this team and who y'all are as a team, as a group of young guys to even get to this point? And hopefully, in a couple of days we're talking about what do folks need to remember about the 2024 state champion Wildcats, but just right now as a group in general, what do you want them to know about kind of who y'all are, the identity of this team, and what you'll remember about this group of guys at the end of this season?
Is that we always stick together through the ups and downs, through the anything. We always together. We one heartbeat. So we just always do everything together, and
There
we
you
never
go.
give up.
He's Jakias Villanueva. Man, always a pleasure to chat with you. I appreciate you taking some time on a Sunday getting ready for this thing. Do you have anything else that you want to share for the fans out there of St. James that, are going to, I don't think you need to tell them to come out to the Dome. I think they're all going to be there. But do you have any message for those folks?
Just know we gonna put on a show for y'all.
There you go. Again, junior wide receiver Jakias Villanueva, a member of that St. James Wildcats team that is back in the Superdome back-to-back years. There's been so much history to that program, a lot of success through the years, but the first time that they've been in back-to-back state championship games since way before either Mia Jakias was alive. So really fun situation right now to get to this point, and the Wildcats trying to go complete the job later this week against Sterlington. He's Jakias Villanueva for Louisiana versus all y'all. I'm Jet Roser. Thanks y'all for tuning in.